Good evening, Trucker Riff here again. I'm going to try one more video before I head out. I'm almost done with my 10-hour break. I am at 9 hours 30 minutes. So I'll start a pre-trip here in a few minutes and go get, something to drink and something to eat, whatever, and then I'll be on my way back to Phoenix. Okay, we left off talking about ways to get a CDL. Now, once you go through your CDL class and CDL school, and they, train you to pass the test, you actually have to go take the tests. When you get to the DMV, if that's where you go take the tests, couple pieces of advice. Even though you've just been through trucking school, just had enough knowledge about trucking that you think at that time you'll ever need for your entire life or 10 lifetimes. Study for the test. If you don't study and go in willy-nilly thinking you're going to pass this test, you're most likely going to fail. So study. That's really the only advice I could give you for taking the CDL test. Endorsements. Get as many as you can. A lot of trucking schools will pay for a certain amount of endorsements, or they may pay for all of your endorsements. Take what they give you. You'd be a fool not to. If they're going to pay for endorsements, take the tests for the endorsements. The tests for the endorsements tend to be a little bit easier, much shorter than the CDL tests. They are a little bit easier to pass. Hazmat, you have to jump through a few hoops to go through. You need to get fingerprinted in addition to taking the hazmat exam, and then you'll have your hazmat endorsement. I would recommend getting as many endorsements as you can. It can only help, and if they're being paid for, that's like turning down free money. So, with that being said, after you have your CDL license, after you have your endorsement, you've probably been pre-hired by a company. Now, we'll take a step back to choosing a company that would be right for you to go with out of school. There's going to be a handful of companies that take in students fresh out of school and train them. You're going to have Werner, Swift, Stevens. There's a handful of others out there. I went with a company called May Trucking. They are out of Salem, Oregon. I'm glad I went with them. It's a solid company. I'm not here to endorse them or anything. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it's a solid company. What I did was I got a pre-hire from them, went to an orientation, and then you go out with a trainer. When you are out with your trainer, you're out 3 or 4 weeks. You come back, test out. Solo upgrade is what they called it. And once you pass that, you are handed the keys to your truck, to your first truck, which if you like this job, which I do very much, it's quite an experience. We'll get into all of that later. This is just a quick little heads up on advice on CDL tests, companies you may want to go with. I'll talk more about that a little bit later. This is just a quick shout out to people going in and taking their CDL exams. It is a long exam. It takes a little while to complete, but study for it and you'll be fine. That's all for now. Once again, these videos are brand new. I'll get more high-tech and better at them as I go along. Just if you have any questions, don't forget m.riffy@yahoo.com. Questions, concerns, comments, complaints, send them in. Thank you, folks. Talk to you later.